We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
So, Eamonn, usually we come up with something to start with, don't we? We don't really know what we're going to say when we start the podcast.
Yeah, it's very much freewheeling.
Yeah, it might be something might have happened to you during the week, something might have happened to me, but I feel like something's happened to both of us and the rest of the world this week.
Mm-hmm.
Something remarkable. And I think we're on the same page here. So I woke up on Monday morning. Usually, I don't like Monday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go to work. I'm grumpy. You know, you have that almost awake. You get that, oh, here we go. And then I switched on my phone and it all went away. It all went away. And I think I can safely say it's probably the best Monday morning I've ever had. Because Will Smith punched Chris Rock in the face. And I did not think about work once I saw that. That was all I thought about. And I was energized.
First off, people are calling it a punch. I think it's more of a slap, isn't it?
It was a slap. I said it that way because it sounds better than it actually was. But I mean, a hard slap.
Hefty slap. Yeah, he certainly went for it. Which in a way I think is worse. Like if you're angry with someone, then like lay them out. Like, he's not like an 18th century gent with like a pair of white gloves. Fucking lay him out, mate.
Spark him out. He should have windmilled onto that stage.
I would have loved it if he'd slowly walked down that runway, building up the momentum of his windmill.
Yeah.
And then as he finally got to Chris Rock, just like, boff!
Boof. Knocked him off his feet. Like when Brad Pitt gets knocked out in Snatch.
Yeah.
But let's not take away from the fact that this really was a remarkable thing.
And that it wasn't staged.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Rock's reaction, he seemed to find it funny.
Yeah.
It did seem staged, but then when you saw Will Smith's face, his fury, when he started shouting.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, he said, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth."
Your effing mouth.
And he said it twice, didn't he?
He said it twice, yeah.
Initially, I thought it was hilarious.
Mm.
And then as the day went on, I realised how appalling it was that he'd behaved in that way.
He literally got up, assaulted someone, and then minutes later was allowed to get up and collect an award.
And that was...
In what way is that okay?
It's mad. Well, look, I hope you don't mind me saying it, but you're more likely to see red than I am, I would say. Is that fair?
That is probably fair. Yeah.
That is fair, isn't it? I actively avoid conflict. I wouldn't say you seek it out, but you don't exactly shy away from it either. So I want you to put yourself in the Oscars. You're one of the most famous actors in the world. You're about to win your first Oscar for your leading man performance.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is standing in front of you. He's a comedian that you admire, but you've possibly had a bit of tension with him before. And he says these things to you about your wife. Which of any of these would make you go up and hit him?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? She's better at football than you.
No, but
No.
she's not, but I wouldn't care.
Okay, she's a thief.
I kind of find that quite enterprising.
Yeah.
It endears me to her.
She can't drive?
Again, I wouldn't find that like angering, but she's a better driver than I am.
Yeah, so that might get you a bit.
No, I kind of find it funny that someone's having a go at her about it.
If he said that she's got bad manners,
I'd be livid.
you'd be furious.
Yeah.
How about she's a terrible mother?
Oh, that would be quite... Yeah, that's quite a bad one, isn't it? Or it depends how cruel the joke was.
I just picture him saying that and you laughing really hard while she's sat next to you looking really cross. What about if Chris Rock said to your wife that she should star in the sequel to a terrible Demi Moore film? Would that upset you?
No.
Okay, what if he said she's a
I would laugh heartily at that.
Yeah, good, okay. It's good. I think you've shown great restraint.
I don't know if this has become a conspiracy theory yet, but they're always going on about how no one watches the Oscars anymore.
Yeah.
They're both professional actors.
They are.
Do you think it's beyond the Academy to stage an incident like this?
No, I don't think it's fake. I must have watched it about 40 times today. The way they react, I don't think that's acting.
I mean, you say that, but they have already nominated Hulk Hogan for the Oscar for next year. Dame Judi Dench will be announcing a category next year.
Yeah.
And she'll go like, remember Hulk Hogan's sex tape? He was boning that woman. And he'll come out, he'll get his tuxedo, he'll like pull it apart.
Yeah, rip
like
it
he does.
apart.
Run on, do that thing. It does like a power bomb. Like
Yeah.
an atomic power bomb on Dame Judi. And then do that thing where he swings his arm around in the air and then holds it to his ear. That for the crowd.
The whole crowd. And Benedict Cumberbatch will stand up and cheer him on. Benedict disappointed me, actually.
Oh, yeah?
In fact, everyone who stood up and gave Will Smith a standing ovation after that disappointed me. Well, that got us excited, didn't it, Eamon? But hey, welcome to Watching Films on the Toilet, a podcast in which our introductions are very rarely anything to do with movies, but we've done it. We've actually managed to do it.
We had to do that, yeah.
We did.
Topical.
I'm still buzzing from it. But yeah, typically we watch films on the toilet, don't we? Because we have families.
Mm-hmm.
Not families that we'd necessarily stand up and punch a comedian in the face for. But, we like them. But we prefer sitting in the toilet and watching films that we can't watch with our kids. That's what we do.
That's what Big Willie should have done. Instead of getting cross, he should have taken himself off the toilet, watched a bit of a film.
Yeah, watch The Raid.
Yeah.
Why
we
would
wouldn't
you
be having this conversation if you'd done that.
No, you wouldn't.
I think, do you know what I think he should do? He should just get a sense of humour about it. Next Oscars, they should wheel him in full Hannibal Lecter. Like, he had the face mask, straight jacket on like one of those trolley things.
Yeah, that would be good. And get Chris Rock to dress up as Clarice. So today, we are going to be discussing a film, what came out recently, called Ambulance. And it's directed by Michael Bay, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a film that exists. We're going to talk about it later. But first of all, we got some correspondence, Eamon?
Certainly have.
It's a couple of pieces of correspondence. People sent us some letters. If you are a person who listens to this podcast and you would like to write a letter to us, then why don't you do that?
Yeah, you're probably thinking like, but they want a letter from little old me. The Son of God is written in. Joe Biden goes to Hitler. Am I going to pale in comparison? Don't think like that. Just send us a letter.
Jason Statham. We've heard from Greg Tonkins. We've heard from Joe Rogan. But look, they're just people at the end of the day. So don't feel you can't write in.
Although having said that, we do get dozens of letters each week, and almost none of them cut the mustard. If it's not good, we won't read it out.
They smell good on an open fire. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't waste our time.
Kindling, we call it, don't we? That is the word for it, isn't it?
Yeah. But kindling, not kindling like that.
Good. So, a couple of letters. Do you want to go? Shall I go? What do you want to do?
You go. You always start with the less funny one.
All right. I didn't say your wife had no hair. Crikey. He's losing it. Okay, this is something, Eamon. I'm just going to get into it. It's written on parchment and hand-delivered by a man on a horse to my door. So it goes like this. Good day, gentlemen. The ghost of Ernest Shackleton here.
Oh.
Your show was recommended to me by Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, who refers to you fondly as the Dunny Boys. You should listen to those Dunny Boys, he told me. I'll be completely honest. I had no idea what you were talking about. My experience of cinema is very limited, as I was mostly focused on Antarctic exploration during the early 1900s, which meant I didn't spend much time in the vaudeville theatres or brothels. I didn't spend much time in them. I do hope to take advantage of your show's popularity, though, and deliver a message to your wide audience. As I'm sure you're aware, the long-lost wreck of my ship, the Endurance, was recently discovered on the sea floor. I was both impressed and concerned by the quality of the images the scientists were able to capture, as some items I thought would be forever lost at the bottom of the ocean could soon be available for the whole world to see. You see, in my personal quarters on the lower deck is a small chest, which I implore you not to open. The photographs and pamphlets contained within the trunk could be described by many as obscene, and some as next level. They should be left alone. Just to be clear, they're definitely not mine. I confiscated them from the ship's captain, Frank Wolseley. That's the truth. I hope this message finds the scientists before my legacy as the world's most beloved explorer is permanently tarnished. Yours, the ghost of Ernest Shackleton.
Wow.
There you go.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because usually the letters we get have at least some kind of tenuous tie to the previous episode, but this one has none at all.
No, I mean, I guess Ernest, as he said, he doesn't really know anything about the show. He just knows that we're very popular and wanted to get a message about a recent event out there.
Used the relevance of his ship being discovered as an in contacting us. Yeah. He really threw his captain under the bus there, didn't he?
Well, he doesn't want those images, whatever they may be of, he doesn't want to be associated with that.
You do have to feel sorry for those old-fashioned folks, don't you? Like now, anything you want to watch, you can just watch.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, what, you going to look at a painting or something?
Well, that's it. What, you're away for weeks on end? Yeah, well, you're going to take a big painting with you or... Hey, what's that painting you got there, lad? Don't you worry about it.
Give us a lend of ye painting. I'll bring it back later.
Can you lend us your 8-foot-by-4 oil painting of that fancy lady?
Who's all on this ship?
Chimney sweeps.
Chimney sweeps and stereotypical pirates. I'm amazed they all made it back intact.
Yeah.
That's a
that's
motley
it.
crew, isn't it?
Very large oil paintings. All the men, you've seen them all. You've seen the old archive footage of all the men carrying their big paintings.
Is that why they got into trouble? It's because they bought tons and tons of erotic paintings instead of like food.
Yeah, and they're all very large.
That'd be taking up too much space in the hold. I need it. I need these paintings.
'Tis necessary, lad. 'Tis necessary. And off they went. But, there we go. So if the scientists are listening, don't open that trunk.
Okay, so another bit of correspondence here. This one, I mean, much stronger tied to the last episode. Much stronger.
Yeah.
Another from another ghost.
Oh,
Lots
wow.
of ghosts, like our show. Or
Yeah,
not,
lots of
in this case. This is a letter from the ghost of Ronnie Barker. Okay.
Of course.
I had a bit of a go at last week.
Yeah, you did. You said he wasn't funny, and you managed to convince me that he wasn't.
Yeah, that's right. Let's hear what he has to say. Dear watching films on the toilet, I was recently stirred from my eternal sleep by the disrespect you paid me in your last episode. I was very cross at your accusation that every sketch I wrote was simply a list of funny-sounding things. This could not be further from the truth. I mean, yes, most of our good sketches are me saying long lists of things quickly, and then Ronnie Corbett saying, sorry I missed that, could you say it again? But there are also other quality sketches, like the sexist musical performances, where I got to manhandle attractive young women, where the comedy lay in the preposterous assertion that they were somehow desperate to have sex with an obese old man. And I've not even mentioned the news headlines, where I'd make normal words sound like rude words, e.g. Rolox, the thing that hold oars in place, sound a lot like the word bollocks, which means your ball bag. Or the interminable monologues where it took Ronnie Corbett 30 minutes to get to one bad punchline. The more I recount this comedy, the more I realise that you are right and that you really scrutinise my material. Only the fork handles and mastermind sketches are any good. The rest are rubbish, and that's probably why I'm in hell. Oh well, c'est la vie. Or as I would say, tits la vie. All the best, the ghost of Ronnie Barker. There we go, in hell.
Writing from hell.
Writing from hell.
From hell, which apparently is where he deserves to be.
He deserves to be.
For trying to entertain the nation, being quite lovable, and yet a little hands-on sometimes, maybe.
Yeah.
Really? Hell? Really?
Straight to the hot place, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, interesting that we've received another letter which proves you right, Eamonn. It's odd that... It's funny, I mean, if I had a tally of all those letters that we've received that you've read, I think we'd be up into maybe the late teens at least.
It's usually proving me right or proving you wrong, aren't they?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
It's just funny that, Ronnie would listen to the podcast and feel compelled to write in just just to make you feel better about what you said. It's interesting, isn't it?
No, well, I feel like he had a bit of a road to Damascus moment during the writing of that letter. It's just like, do you know what? I'm not funny. And that finally me being in hell makes sense.
Very nice. Yeah, it's good. Mate, not being funny. You got any of that toilet news, mate?
I have.
Have you got a teenth of toilet news?
I have, yeah. I've got it in a little baggie. This is from the Daily Star, which has not been a news source which I've used in the past.
You still get the delivery boys to bring that around every day?
The Daily Star. Oh, yeah. I mean, I read the paper religiously, but I've just never used it as a source for toilet news. I mean, I can't really. I've accidentally clicked on another article on the Daily Star. I know the sidebar of shame on the Daily Mail is not subtle, but the Daily Star could take quite a few lessons from them. There's one horrific looking injury, and then the rest is women with gigantic boobs. Like, not, they're quite big, like cartoonishly huge. This is not even a news story. Model declares it's bikini season as she flaunts 32L boobs in racy swimwear. That's not a news story. That's just a woman lying down in a bikini. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not a story, is it?
No.
It's
The
not
woman
a story.
model declares. Doesn't even say her name. 32L boobs. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, here's the news story.
Yeah.
Woman horrified to find a small sliding door between toilet cubicles in Brit pub.
Oh.
So the punter shared a video of the strange contraption where some suggested it was the past toilet roll, while others claimed it could be a hole. Might have to bleep that bit out.
Maybe.
A woman was mortified when she went to pub toilet to discover a small sliding door between the cubicles. And I mean, it is that. It's not like a brick wall. It's like the walls are wooden panel.
Yeah.
One of the wooden panels, that slides back, and if you could bend down and see through into the next door cubicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we know what that is for.
What do you think it's for?
The thing that you said that we can't say.
Well, it's in the ladies' toilets, though. How's a lady gonna use a hole?
Maybe it's just when everyone goes to bed.
Wouldn't have to be massive. Think about what she needs to get through there.
Female one.
Yeah, I said it's in the women's toilets, and you're like, it's definitely a hole. It's like, how does that work if it's a woman?
I just don't. What else would that be used for?
Well, I'll tell you. Some of the suggestions have been to pass toilet rolls through.
Oh yeah, but you always need to do that. Any other suggestions?
Someone suggested passing snacks, which is just a comedy answer.
Snacks? Disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else it could be for.
What would you, if you found a little door like that, what would you use it for?
It would be a special door to a secret world, wouldn't it?
Some kind of like toilet-based Narnia.
Toilet-based Narnia. Instead of Aslan, the lion, it's just a giant toilet roll with a main...
It's like an allegory of Jesus.
Yeah, instead of Mr. Tumnus, it's the toilet brush with the horse's body.
Hello.
You alright?
Yeah, sorry, my wife's just walked in looking confused.
Do you know she can never hear me?
No, I couldn't see Ben on the screen, so I didn't know who you were talking to.
Oh yeah, no, I was just looking at something. There, look, he's there now.
Hi.
Looking very cheerful, Ben.
Always. Did your wife just see you looking at the Daily Star?
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Yeah, she did the 32L story.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
I'm now going to go around and turn out all the lights in the house that Eamonn's left on. Everywhere.
Ooh, there's a cuss.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry for keeping my children safe.
Thought they were safe in bed.
They are in bed, but I leave the landing lights on so they can do a wee.
And the bathroom and our bedroom.
Bathroom light needs to be on. Went into our bedroom because he was scared of spiders. So take it up with him.
This is all rubbish. Ben, this is an ongoing problem. Eamon won't recognise the climate crisis.
Pretty sure it doesn't exist. So.
I needed to get some stuff out of there.
It's a cupboard, Ben. It's a cupboard.
Wow.
I don't know what I have to put up with,
God.
seriously.
Well, do you know what? I'm just going to put a clip of this onto Instagram, pin it, and be like, this is why we're forced to watch films in the toilet. So get away from this.
Wow.
Joy.
All right, see you later.
I'm a little lost for words.
Well, in fairness, I do have a habit of leaving lights on around the house.
Yeah.
But my son did get scared of the thought of spiders.
That's fair.
I said, well, when you sleep in our bedroom. So I think
blame
she's just got up now to go and wake him up and have a go at him.
I get
turning
scared
the light
at
on.
the thought of home invaders.
Well, I mean, they're just like, the thing with home invaders are that if you leave them be, then they'll leave you alone.
Are you saying they're more scared of you than you are of them?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, actually.
And what they want to do is come in, eat a few insects, and then go.
And they've got 8 legs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, home invaders.
Is where I find a web in the house. Oh, so home invaders have been in again.
The bloody home invader had to take care of it with a rolled up newspaper.
Okay.
I have one of this. This is a short one. M&S says sorry after staff stopped busting mum full of tea from using the toilet. So it's this 64-year-old had loads of tea.
Yeah.
Desperate for a piss, and then she wasn't allowed to go. Then she had to drive for an hour home to use the toilet. So at no point did she think, well, I better just go pump into a different shop and use the toilet in there.
Yeah.
She's like, no, we're going to drive for an hour home, holding it in.
What, out of spite?
Out of spite, yeah.
Well, if I can't use that toilet, I won't use any.
I know.
And she held it in for an hour?
So she slammed the decision as daft.
Yeah.
Not to let her go, and that she was, quotes, full of tea. I mean, reading in between the lines, I assume what happened is she pissed herself in the car on the way home.
That's sad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it funny? Old woman pissing herself?
Is she old?
64.
Oh, a bit old.
Nah, that's still fine. I think that's the cut-off. I think when you get to 67, shouldn't laugh at a lady pissing herself, but
64 is fine.
up until 64, you're fine.
Yeah, it's lols, isn't it? It's
Plenty
lols.
of margin there.
Yeah.
Dumb idiot.
Yeah, this is fair. This is definitely fair. Fair and justified.
Yeah, I'm fed up of punching up with comedy. I just want to take a few easy shots.
Yeah.
Some people just rain a few punches going down.
Punch down.
Yeah.
Any more?
God, I hate the poor.
Yeah, nice. So Ambulance. I saw this film at the local picture house. I did ensure that I used the toilet before I went to see the film to tick the toilet box, and then I sat and I viewed it. What about you?
Same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Watching the film after the toilet.
Yeah, sort of. It's just about get away with it.
There's no other way around it.
Well, no one cares, do they? No one actually cares.
What did you consume? What kind of liquid did you consume in order for me to be able to execute the summer wee?
I drank loads and loads of tea, so I was full of tea.
Oh, you're full of tea. Right, okay.
And when I did my big piss, I took 1 minute and 14 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, Eamonn.
Of course you are. Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II needs money to pay for his wife's surgery. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with her, but he does. So, he goes to his long-lost brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, and asks for a loan. But Jake tells him, you can earn a lot more money if you help me out with this bank robbery that I'm about to do, with this bunch of loose cannons who will clearly mess this up. So, Abdul reluctantly agrees. The bank robbery goes horribly wrong. A cop is shot, and the brothers end up hijacking an ambulance driven by paramedic Elza Gonzalez. From then on, they're desperately trying to evade the police and the FBI, who are pursuing them through the city of Los Angeles because they've got this injured cop in the ambulance. And eventually, Yahya shoots Jake Gyllenhaal because he realizes he's a psycho, and Elza goes back to work. And that's the end.
Okay, that's 1 minute and 2 seconds.
So, Ambulance.
Yum, num, 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 num.
Ooh.
Okay, let me start by saying something that I admired about this film.
Admired.
Well, I guess I should caveat that with it. It's not that I admired about the film, it was more that I admired about Michael Bay, which was instead of doing another gigantic blockbuster. Sorry if you can hear my wife loading up the dishwasher in the background. She You're lucky she just finished her dinner. We were doing our pre-chat before that. Ben could hear everything she was doing. Visceral was the word that he used.
Visceral. It was actually a lot more visceral than the film Ambulance.
I'd much rather watch my wife eat dinner than watch this film again.
With her hands as well.
Yeah. So what I admired about the intention was that it wasn't another gigantic, ridiculous blockbuster. You know, it wasn't another Transformers movie. It was small scale. It wasn't the end of the world. Everything's sort of confined. It was one of these films where they, and I hate it when they do this, try to make the city a character. The city's kind of like a character.
He claimed it was a character-driven project.
But I was surprised that he decided to do a project like this. But I mean, I think he has directed like 5 Transformers films. So even he must be bored of them by now.
Yeah.
So that was something. That was definitely something.
Okay, that's good.
Now you say something nice.
Well, okay, a little bit of background. This is actually a remake, this film, of a Danish film called Ambulance.
Actually, it's called Ambulancen.
Ambulancen, which is more of a dark comedy, which the Danish are very good at. Stars a guy called Thomas Bo Larsen, who has been in some really good Danish movies. Another Round recently, which was very good with Mads.
That was your mate Mads, who you love.
And we love Mads. And do you know how long Ambulancen is?
The original one?
The original film, yeah. It's an hour and 16 minutes.
Okay.
Which is a good length for a short, tight thriller, I would say.
Yeah.
This was an hour longer than that.
Yes.
They put on a whole extra hour. You wanted me to say something nice. There was one part that really stood out to me for completely the wrong reasons, I think. The FBI agent, we met him at a counselling session with his partner, and he was in charge of the bank robbery division of the FBI, and he received a text on his phone that said, "Massive bank robbery." And that made me laugh out loud. It's no specifics, just, mate, massive bank robbery in downtown LA.
Yeah, they usually have codes for the various different crimes, don't they?
Yes.
So we've got 320 happening or whatever.
No code here, just massive bank.
Massive. That's that's the kind of dispatch Alan Partridge would send. There is a massive bank robbery.
So there you go, there's something I liked.
Good.
What did you think of Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Danny?
I imagine Michael Bay no longer does tremendous amounts of cocaine because he looks really old now. He's starting to look like my mother-in-law, but it's almost like that energy is given to all of his characters. It's like all his characters are like coke fiends.
Yes.
And that is the energy that they bring to their line delivery. And I've realised it's a real like Michael Bayism. And it happens a lot in his films, is you'll have 2 characters start shouting at each other, and it gets louder and faster and louder, then it stops.
Yes.
That is something he does all the time.
They really did shout at each other a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, it's what can I tell you about that guy? He's impulsive, he's a hothead, he's loose cannon. One thing I couldn't understand about him is, did he run like a big garage or something? What was the deal with all those cars?
Well, yeah, that I didn't understand either. So we've got Yaya's wife. We don't know why she needed an operation.
Yeah, they never said.
No, they didn't. They didn't say. And Jake, what was he doing there? He had so many cars. I guess it was the front for his bank robbery business.
But then he was saying about they needed to get some flamingos delivered to a party, like a kid's party or something. So was he like an event planner or something?
Don't know.
Everything was so... They have all this time, gigantic film, and they still can't shade in any of the characters or the backstories.
So much time, Eamonn. It was so long.
It was so long.
I was thinking throughout, like, who could have pulled this off? And I was thinking, like, Tony Scott could have done this. Mm-hmm. He could have done it and still the film would have had a heart.
Yeah.
But Michael Bay, I mean, there's style over substance and there is style stomping substance's head into the floor until there's nothing left.
It's just typical Michael Bay. He can't tell like a small story. He's scared that we're not going to be engaged.
Yeah.
So he threw in all these absolutely ludicrous camera moves.
Oh, God.
Running up the side of a building, getting to the top, flipping around, coming back down, and then joining a car chase. Why? Why do we need to do that?
This is it. You know, there's shots like the dolly zoom in Jaws and the tracking shots in The Shining, and all these shots are like technical achievements that embrace the storytelling and the characters and the themes, and they are memorable. And there is nothing like that.
No, it's just
nothing. Like you said, why in the middle of a bank robbery are we flying down the side of a building?
There's no relevance. Why? There's nothing about that.
Why,
that
when
building.
the brothers are shouting at each other as loud as they can, why is the camera spinning around and like blinding us with the sun?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
completely mad.
It is, and I imagine purely on a technical sort of level, he knows all that stuff really well.
Yeah.
But it's like he has no like brain, like in terms of why you should be using those shots. And it's not like Jaws. It's like there's not some like weird zoom shot every sort of 5 seconds. That happens once, and it's to really make you aware of that situation.
Yeah. Honestly, I resented having to watch it. I just wanted to leave.
Same.
I resented doing this podcast. I was just like, what? Why am I doing this? Why am I watching this film? I wouldn't be watching this film if I wasn't doing a podcast about it.
Just too much bay.
Too much bay. Absolute bayhem. Can you think of any films that have far more substance than style that Michael Bay could completely take any heart out of?
Yeah, so like something like Dead Man's Shoes or something like that. That's not fair to say it's not stylish, because it is. It's a very particular aesthetic.
It works.
But it's like the opposite of a Michael Bay film.
None of the shots draw attention to the shots.
Paddy Considine doing the "You're there, mate"
Yeah.
monologue, just spinning around him and that guy over and over again.
Camera goes underneath that little Beetle car they have. It flies underneath that, straight towards them having the argument. You're there, mate. And as he presses his palm,
Just blow up.
I don't know, a helicopter would probably fly over.
You're there, mate.
It would blow up. Yeah, that would work. Or like what's the guy? Ken Loach. Ken Loach and Michael Bay.
I love that. This film about like benefits.
Yeah.
Just like, how sexy can we make this?
Flying down the side of job centre.
The jobs advisor, super slow motion, dropping a sugar cube into their coffee.
Yeah, there would be no sunshine in a Ken Loach film, so the lens flare wouldn't be a problem, would it?
That's right.
Oh, God. Honestly, I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I hate it as well. And it's really weird. There's a really specific feeling that Michael Bay films make me feel. I don't really get it with a lot of other films. There's no emotional hook at all.
No.
There's just no kind of rock, fissure or crack or something like that you can get your fingers into. So this is a rock climbing analogy. You'll love this.
Oh, I like it.
The film is a cliff I need to climb.
Okay.
If it has lots of features and it's all like craggy and rugged, that's lots of emotion.
Okay.
So, for example, Dead Man's Shoes. Oh, this is a piece of cake, climbing this film cliff.
Very craggy.
Very craggy. Oh, look, there's loads of footholds and everything. A Michael Bay film is like a sheet of glass. There's just you can't get any emotional purchase on it.
You could climb the plot holes if they were part of the cliff.
No, they're not. They're not.
All right, okay. I won't get involved in this analogy.
No, it's working really well. Don't ruin it. But I wonder if this is just like hubris. It's just like colossal Hollywood confidence in that everything you do is right, it works. There's a bit where they hide the ambulance for a little bit, and Jake Gyllenhaal gets his lackey to spray paint it, and they spray paint it like luminous green.
Yeah.
So first of all you think, well, that's ridiculous. Clearly that's not going to work.
No, like he barely covered it.
There's a decoy later on with a regular looking ambulance, and all the police kind of surround it, and they're like, get out of the vehicle. And then in the background, you see the green one driving past, and no one notices it. And it's just, it's preposterous. Of course, that would be the first thing you see. Why is that ambulance green? And it's not like it's had like a proper paint job. It's like why is some spray painted?
Did you see that? Did you see that bright green ambulance-shaped vehicle?
We've been like chasing an ambulance all day. Yeah. Well, I know we've got one, but there's like a green one there that's just passing us by. Should we look at that one?
No, just shut up. Just shut up.
Shut up. No, leave that one.
God,
we're
why
looking
you-
at this one.
Stop. Oh, that's the green one. Just shut up. Clearly, it's the one in front of us. Oh, God, it's so stupid. It was just trash. Absolute trash. I don't know why anyone is reviewing this well.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's still 74%.
70.
How? How is that?
God. Right, wrapping this up. So look, the week started very well. I woke up on Monday morning to find out that Will Smith had punched Chris Rock in the face. It was an exciting start to the week.
Yeah.
I then had to go and see this, and I hate this film. I'm not even going to flush it.
Oh.
If it was in the toilet, I would set fire to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even flush it. I'd burn all of it. What about you?
Well, this may surprise you, but I'm fishing it out.
Good lad.
No,
Good lad.
it's absolutely god-awful. For some reason, I think it was because I saw that Rotten Tomatoes thing. I was just like,
Yeah.
but you know what? Maybe he's matured as a filmmaker. Maybe he's just curbed some of the excesses and focusing more on the storytelling. Michael Bay hasn't got better. Film reviewers have gotten worse.
This is it.
That's what's happened.
Guy Ritchie did a similar thing quite recently. He made this Jason Statham film, Wrath of Man.
Oh, God.
And that was trash. That was like drone shots. I guess these big filmmakers wanted to get something out during the pandemic time. Just do something good. Just shut up. Shut up. Right, there we are. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So that was Ambulance. Now, usually at this point, we'd do a top 5, wouldn't we?
We would.
We guess each other's top 5 films of a certain theme. The winner gets to pick next week's film, and the loser has to do a forfeit. But this week, we've decided to do the least bad Michael Bay films.
Correct.
And because of that, we have decided to make it a top 3.
There's just not enough good Michael Bay films.
So, Eamon, you lost last week. Again. So you get to go first. And I think you might be in with a strong chance. So we get 2 guesses. Whoever gets the most in 2 guesses wins.
All right. Okay, I'm going to say Bad Boys. That's a duplicate.
Yes, I like Bad Boys. I think Bad Boys is fine. Okay, my one. The Rock.
Yeah. Is that a duplicate?
Yes, it's a duplicate. Yeah, so that's 2 duplicates so far.
I'm going to say, did you put Ambulance on your list?
No. Okay, last one. The Island.
No.
Is it rock, paper, scissors, sudden death then?
Guess so.
We ready?
Hang on, just thinking.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stop trying to rush me.
Amy's trying to psych me out as usual.
No, just trying to think about what you do with the tactics you would use.
I don't use any. There's no tactics.
Yes, there is. There's always tactics.
There might be me thinking of what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that. Me thinking about what I'm going to do is not a tactic.
It's not. It's one.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's like it's one choice. There's nothing beyond that. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2,
3. Show.
What have you got? It's off the screen.
Well, as you
could've
saw,
changed
I
it.
didn't flex. Well, hang on. You could see my knuckles there, so it certainly couldn't have been paper, could it?
I'll accept defeat because I don't.
Well, it didn't really seem like you accepted it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like a
did.
steward's inquiry.
I've accepted it. What were your top 3 least bad Michael Bay directed films?
Yeah, so we got Bad Boys and The Rock, and the other one was Pain and Gain, which is the
Really?
bodybuilding one. I mean, it's not good. I'm not saying it's good, but it's just the
Yeah.
least bad. Go on then.
Yeah.
What was yours?
The Rock, Bad Boys, and Armageddon.
Yeah.
Armageddon is utterly ridiculous, but it's got an Aerosmith soundtrack. Let's go with that. So what's my forfeit this week, Eamon?
Do you have to steal an ambulance?
Oh, okay. That seems like ethically fine.
And for my forfeit last week, I had to defend my wife's honour. Great.
Are we psychic?
Yeah, so here's what's happened.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that
Eamon,
wins. Like, please, Lord.
Eamon's wife.
I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here.
Chris,
Uh-oh.
I do not appreciate your comments about my wife's appearance and would encourage you to show more sensitivity in the future. Thank you. Many thanks.
That was a greatest night in the history of television.
Well, that was topical, Eamon.
Thanks.
So next time we are going to be watching 1991's Point Break, starring Keanu Reeves and Pat Swayze.
Never seen that film.
You've never seen Point Break?
No. Hate surfers.
You hate... Oh, you famously hate surfers, don't you?
My famous hatred for the surfing community is really going to boil over.
It's that combined. You'll hate this as well. It's a female director. It was directed by Catherine Bigelow. You hate
sake.
female directors.
They just, they ruin everything.
And there's so many of them, aren't there? They just
You can't move for female directors.
Oh, so many of them. It's time the white men got a chance to, put their mark on Hollywood, isn't it?
That's right.
It's all out of balance.
I'm going to stop there. I feel like we've wrung enough comedy out of that and don't want it to go too far. I feel like you're very much leading me down a garden path there.
No, all I said was...
Look, I've admitted my hatred of women directors. that's more than enough.
I like that you're willing to admit. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, that's next time. That'll be fun.
Good.
So thanks for listening again. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you don't hit anyone who uses bad words against you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just say you don't like it. Makes sense, doesn't it? You can follow us on the gram, on the Twitter. You can find us on the Facebook. You can watch this on YouTube if you want, or you can do something else, something
Have
better.
it projected directly into your brain.
Yeah, or projectile vomit all over the place.
That's not what I said. Ben's just doing free association wordplay. It's not what I said.
But, I mean, that would be pretty wild, wouldn't it? Just to projectile vomit all over the place.
This is exactly the same as that fucking letter. You heard one thing and just like, I'm going to go for that. I'm going with this.
I'd say my letter was even more, or even less.
It's Shackleton.
Than that.
For Christ's sake.
The letter I received.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good save.
Eamon, please send us off with your catchphrase.
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
Bye-bye.
Bye.